How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode in beautiful Texas. It's going to be very hard to beat the last two videos. Caught that big one at Fork, then caught that absolute giant yesterday, but today's a new day. I am on a brand new lake today. I'm actually fishing with Flair today. It's just me and Flair out on the boat. I don't think I've ever filmed a video with just Flair. We fished together a couple times, but never filmed a video. I hope my face is not completely black with the way the sun is right now, but yeah, this is a pretty big DFW like metro lake, so it's gonna take a little bit to figure them out, but I'm pretty confident me and Flair are gonna have these fishes numbered by the end of the day. It's like 11 o'clock. Probably gonna have to fish until 5 o'clock to get this video filmed and catch them all for you guys, but should be a good day out here. You ready, bud?
We're good.
We good. Got the kiddie pole from yesterday, the good luck charm. Probably should have left that in the car, but it's the good luck charm. All right, we're starting the day in this little marina. We're gonna start to fish Rocky Points. I don't think this lake has any weeds in it. It's just gonna be a Rocky Point dock type of deal. I'm dragging the Ned rig because I want to catch a flare fish and I just want to bite.
That's right.
That's right.
It's the best way to do it.
Here, go get that snag. I'm gonna tie in a crankbait. I don't know why I'm starting off with a shaky head. I'm already quitting. When you start with the Ned rig, you're just quitting on the day. I don't know why I'm doing that to myself. There's one.
No, you got one.
I knew there'd be a fish on this log.
Okay.
Maybe they want finesse.
All right, you convinced me, Bill.
Dude, I was letting that Ned rig sit still in the log. Okay. All right. First fish of the day. Flair and I just cranked this log a bunch. We made repeated casts over this thing, didn't get bit. So I was being stubborn and figured there just had to be a bass on the only laydown on this entire rock wall. Little guy wanted the Ned rig. Flair goes right to his. Do we have identical Ned rigs?
Yeah, we do.
Look at that. We even got the little weedless ones.
Yeah, always.
You're dialed on how to catch those small fish.
I got you. Don't you worry about me.
That fish barely even hit it too. It was like mush. Maybe they're not going to be good on that crankbait bite. Flair and I are about to make a little move. We just fished this pretty long marina wall, and the only fish we caught was really tight to structure and like the shade of a tree. So we're thinking with this high sun and our super professional bass fishing opinions that they will be under the docks in the shade, because I caught them pretty good under docks yesterday. Hopefully this lake is more of the same. Gonna tie in another 1/2 ounce little skipping jig with that flat bottom. Should be perfecto. Dude, this literally burned down. Look at this. This pontoon boat burned down.
Oh my God, it did.
That is messed up. This pontoon boat completely burned down. I thought it was just old and dilapidated. No, it's just torched. Look at that, it's scarred up and everything. The engine looks like it caught on fire. Flair and I are really trying to make this dock pattern work out, but we've fished a decent amount of docks so far and have not caught a single thing.
Oh,
there's a fish.
Oh. That's what we came here for.
We should do the flare fish challenge so you can catch a smaller bass. Have you ever done that before?
No.
Nice little bass. Look at that turtle. You guys probably can't even see him. There's a big turtle sprawled out sunning. I wish the bass would be doing the same up on the rocks. We just spent the last, what was that? Probably a good hour and a half. We really tried to make the docks work. Docks weren't working, so I think the Ned rig on the rocks is gonna be the deal. This lake has a bunch of chunk rock like this, so it shouldn't be too hard to find, but it is quite a painfully slow way to fish. Oh yeah.
First fish. Woo! Get in here, son. That's what we talking.
Whenever you suck, this is always the go-to.
That's the fact.
Whenever you don't know what to do.
Exactly. Yep, there's one.
Is it a donkey? Doesn't look like a donkey.
I just called that shot. I said, there's got to be a donkey back in this corner. Well, boy, was I right.
The shaky head is just too good.
Got some little bush action.
Yeah, they do not have these in the Midwest. What are these?
In my entire life.
Oh, we're doubled.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
We have doubled, folks. Release Frankie here. See, buddy.
We're just cranking them. Cranking the giants out here. She hit it right when it was falling.
See if he's got a friend back here.
Oh, there's friends back in here. Dude, what are these plants?
I've never seen these in my life.
Someone knows what kind of plants these are. Please, do not hesitate to let me know. Drop some knowledge down below.
It's gonna be like yeah, that's fish. Yo.
Oh!
We found it. We found it. This is juice. Drop the poles.
No way. Pro archer. Oh, I thought you were gonna throw the rod at it. Oh God.
Wait, did that just break? Did that just break? I mean, my rod. wait, what the fuck just happened? I'm so confused. I thought I got it for a second. I'm pretty sure it fucking broke. My rod is just broke.
Oh, you broke your line, all right. Andrew Flair going to the Elite Series next year. Yeah, we're gonna have to go get that rod on the other side of the rocks. Scavenger hunt, find Andrew Flair's rod. It's on a DFW lake. $100 to whoever can find Andrew Flair's rod first. I've seen that rod trick done many times. I've seen that rod trick fail in many ways, but I've never seen it break the line like that. That was impressive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Two. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Was that on the Ned rig?
Yes.
I have to put my crankbait hopes to bed.
The biggest one for me. Giant, but I'll take you. A little light line. Buddy. He does make a lot of money in tournaments, though. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, we figured out how to catch bass on this lake, but I can't see catching a big old great grandma with Ned rigs on Rocky Points today, but you never know. I was telling Flair earlier, I'm waiting for the one day I fish a shaky head on a point like this, set the hook, and it just doesn't move, and then a 10-pounder jumps. It'll eventually happen. We'll get there, but I think we have to sift through a couple of those guys first. Flair and I have had some fun on this lake, but we're about to make some money moves out of it. We're just not getting the vibe that it's all that good of a lake. We've caught some nice fish, but they've all been pretty small. They've all been skinny, so we've caught some nice fish in the numbers, but we want to get the ferry rod and the Ned rig out of our hands. We're going to move on over to another lake that Mr. Bryce Bozeman has given us a tip on and said that we can catch some bigger fish there. We got to fish offshore. We just want to get the Ned rig and the spinning rod out of our hands. You got to do that when times are tough and you need to put a fish in the boat. The Ned rig, Rocky Points. I thought you were like doing something in the background.
No, I'm just itching. I'm chilling.
The Ned rig on Rocky Points will put fish in the boat when you're struggling. We were struggling on the new lake today, so we are going to put the boat back on the trailer and hopefully hook up with the bigger one on this new lake because we just want the big one. We're all about the big bass while we're here in Texas for the next few days, so we got to make it happen today. It's not going to happen here. Flair and I don't exactly know what that is. Any clues?
No.
But we're going to fish it. This lake is like a strictly offshore fishing deal, and you guys know how awesome and experienced I am at offshore fishing. How about you? You got the same thing in Nebraska, don't you? Yeah. Well, I got some waypoints down. We're gonna start chucking things at that and figure out what the hell that is and if there's some fish on it. So this should not come as a big shocker to any of you, but Flair and I did not catch any bass offshore. I will get there one day. We will figure out how to fish effectively and catch fish offshore, but for right now, I'm about as clueless as it gets, just because, you know, I haven't done it before. There's a lot of subtleties to it, just like any type of fishing, and it's not an easy thing to pick up on right away. I just haven't mastered it quite yet, but I want to catch you guys up to speed a little bit because I stayed at the Guggen house for one more day, but the next day after this video, I edited for most of the day. You know, I caught up. I had a lot of videos to edit. All I had been doing the last couple of days was fishing all day and then sleeping because I was so tired and then fishing all day. So on this next day, I only had like 2 hours of fish. You know, I was not going to film a video. I was basically sitting down. I had edited all day, so I was like, you know what? I don't want to sit inside anymore, but there's really not enough time to film a video. So I went out to just a local DFW lake with basically no expectation of catching any fish. I was going out in like 10 to 15 foot of water and I was flipping big trees just trying to get one bite. Again, I only had 2 hours of fish. I wasn't really filming. I wasn't vlogging. I bought a GoPro just in case because I was fishing for big fish and I got 2 bites. 2 bites in those 2 hours. This is the first one. Here she is. Here's the I have no one with me and I caught a big bass hold. Beautiful, beautiful fish I caught flipping. So that was a great fish. Of course, with my great luck, I can't even really call it great luck because it was my fault not being diligent, but the camera wasn't running when I set the hook. I caught that really nice, like probably 6-pounder. I measured it on the board and it was like 22 inches long, but it wasn't that fat, so I'm gonna call it a 6-pounder. Again, I know I need a scale. You guys are just as annoyed as I am with not having the exact weights for these fish. I am buying a scale. Basically, I have bought one. I got it on Amazon, so I'm gonna have a scale for all these big Texas bass in the spring, but the next bite is what I'm really upset about. As you guys can tell, like I was not filming seriously on this day. It was totally like a for fun, almost like relaxed thing. Because when I'm out filming YouTube videos, I'm not necessarily just fun fishing. I'm trying to make videos for you guys. So I was out there fun fishing. I was out on the front deck. I was just like that big bass the other day. I like had my phone on. I was playing music, and I got this one bite, and this is what happened.
Oh God. Another big one.
So this kills me that I didn't have the chesty on for this angle because, I mean, it's just a fishtail because I didn't catch it and the camera angle didn't capture it either, but that fish that I just lost and broke off in that tree, it dwarfed that 8 or 9 pounder I had just caught 2 days previous. Like its eyes were bigger than quarters. I mean, if this thing wasn't at least a double digit, I would be shocked. What happened was I cast it up into the tree. I was about to float into like a big stick, and the stick was about to nail my GoPro. So as you guys saw, like I walked back a little bit, moved the stick. I came back to the front deck, and I got feeling with my craw again. There was a fish there. So I set the hook, and it was like one of those sturgeon hooks that's from the Fraser River. I set the hook, and it didn't move, and it just immediately started dogging me down in that tree. And then the fish, when I saw it, it came up on the opposite side of the tree. And you guys can see this is a giant sprawling tree in pretty deep water. So there's limbs everywhere. And I only had 17-pound fluoro. Fish came up to the surface, and then you could hear me say like, oh, it's a giant. And it dove back down, got so super wrapped, and was dogging me so hard. And I made the mistake of reeling down and trying to force it out of those sticks, because what happened is I could feel it pulling, and then at the very end it just kind of stopped. And what happens when it stops like that means the fish has like wrapped you numerous times in a branch. It's sometimes in those big trees, fish will kind of maze around, but they'll make their way out as long as they don't get fully wrapped around one of the branches. The fish had gotten fully wrapped. I had tried really hard to pull it out, and that's when I broke it. I just think that fish was so big, he could have done whatever he wanted. It really left a horrible taste in my mouth, because I mean, you guys saw my reaction. I saw it, I knew how big it was, and all I could remember was like thinking back in February when Peric and I fished in Sugar Lake in Mexico. The guy told us pretty much half of the big bass you hook in big trees like that, you are not going to catch. It's a battle once you hook them in those big trees, and there's so many things they can do. There's so many things they can wrap you on, cut you off with. It's a battle that you're going to lose almost as many times as you win, and unfortunately that day I lost that battle, and it sucked too because I knew the big ones are biting. I just caught that big fish, so that one stung. That one stung a lot. Texas has treated me well thus far, but I had never lost a really big fish like that before. It sucked. It sucked. I mean, my time was coming. Everyone loses big fish. That's just the name of the game, but it really stings to lost what I would have bet all my money on being like at least a double-digit bass. So that is what has been happening the last couple of days while I've been in Dallas, staying at the Guggen's house. Thank you, Guggen's, for letting me stay here. But I'm about to drive down to Austin. I'm going to fish with Grant, and then hopefully I'm going to fish with a subscriber named Brandon, either on the way down or the way up. A lot of you guys have given me awesome requests and offers, and I seriously appreciate it. Most of them have not been able to work just because of like my route and my schedule, but Brandon, I look forward to hopefully fishing with you. I'm not 100% positive we can make it work, but I really hope that we can. Dallas has treated me very well these last couple of days, so I hope that my good luck continues down in Austin.